Good morning, Nokia. Good morning, Test Dive. Nice to see all of you. It's not easy probably to deliver a speech after Jerzy performance, but I have at least one advantage, and it's not my hair, of course, and not T-Rex looking scary. So what I would like to talk today is how to improve your performance by having some tools that will help you, that will allow you to measure actually how you perform in your life and how you can use those tools to boost your performance in life, in your work life, and in your private life as well. So that's the story for today. But before we start, and I encourage everyone who try to sit at the end of the audience to come closer, because I will have so many questions to you during this workshop, during this session. And I would like you to cooperate with me today. Why is like that? Because I believe that what we listen, you can only remember 10% of what you listen. If you do something, if you participate, then you can remember 80-90% of what we are talking about. And I would like you to remember most of those of this presentation. So that's why I encourage you to take part in it, come closer, sit here, and answer the questions, because we're going to dive into several topics, and maybe together we will discover the ways how to boost your performance in your life. And before we start talking about the performance itself, I have one, let's say, game for you. Probably you know this game. It's called Let's Make a Deal. It's original version of Idź na całość. Who knows this? Idź na całość. Let's Make a Deal. It was a TV show. Some people knows that, so we probably knows the rules of this game. And I would like to show you, having this in mind, having this example, how how the mind plays tricks with you, and what's actually the improvement and the correct answer that you can have having this game. So first question to you is actually, if you remember this show, the presenter usually asks the question, which gate you would like to choose? And I would like you right now to choose one of the gate. So think very carefully. It's a very difficult question. So think which gate you would like to choose. Who chooses gate number 3? Okay, several people here. Gate number 2? Okay, we have also. And gate number 1. Okay, so gate number 1, less people. Okay. And right now the question for you is, what the percentage is behind the choice that you make? So how many percentage do you have to choose the right, correct answer? Of course, each gate has some gift inside. In 2 gates are a zong or goat, which means nothing. And in 1 gate, there is a car behind. So you need to choose the right answer to get a car. And how many percentages do you have right now selecting one of the gates? 33.3%. That's a good answer, yeah? Do you agree? Please. Yeah, okay. People agree with that. Good, because I was wondering if IT guys knows math. But it looks apparently, yeah. Good, so you have 33% of selecting each gate at this stage. And the next answer is the presenter goes to you and asks you if you would like to change your gate or not. But before he asks this question, he also reveals that in let's say, 3rd gate is empty. There's nothing inside. There's nothing in this box. And the question is, if you select, who selected the number 1, gate number 1? Here. Okay, and the question for you would be, do you like to keep your gate, or do you would like to change to the gate number 2? Keep. You would like to keep your gate. And you would like to, could you tell me why you would like to keep?
Because I want to keep. I don't want to change.
Mm-hmm. And the reason? Okay, because I choose this one, I like this one, I want to stay with the first one. And you also selected the gate number 1.
Probability is higher than for 1, I think.
Why?
Because the 3 is out and
Okay, so what will be the probability for the gate number 1 in this case? 50%. Someone has a different answer? Who has a different answer for this one? Who'd like to share? There is a
I don't remember the math behind. Changing the choice increases the chances of winning. Yeah.
Okay. That's actually correct answer, but I would like to, if anyone would like to share why. So guys, let's take a look. So right now you don't know how many percentage you have for each box. And let's assume that at the beginning, each box was 33%. So if you had a chance to choose the gate number 1, you have 33% of chances. But then you can also select 2 other boxes at the same time. So B and C, or 2 and second and third one. And together, those 2, how many percentage they gave at the beginning? Yeah, you know my math. Good. 66%. So that was the chance between choosing the gate number 1 or choosing both gates number 2nd and number 3rd. So that's the percentage that you have at the beginning. And imagine what? The thing that presenter opened the gate number 3 doesn't make any change in these percentages, because you still have a 66% right now coming to the gate number 2, because you still have a chance to choose between gate number 1 or 2 others. One was revealed, but the percentage stays the same, which means that in the end, gate number 1, you have 33% of the chances as you had at the beginning, but if you change your gate, you will receive additional 33.3% of chances of winning the car. Does it make sense or not? No. You think that it's 50 to 50?
So what is the difference? You are manipulating the data right now. You are choosing second and the third gate, while you are assuming that some of us choose 1. The same math would be we choose 1 and 3, and then exclude 3 and stay with the 1.
Exactly.
This is the manipulation of the data.
And that's the reason that on one of the workshops that they delivered, someone stand up in the audience and ask that don't teach your children this kind of math. And really, he left the room. And after one day, he came back to me and say sorry. He read about the paradox of Monte-Hall, because this is Monte-Hall paradox. And he really said, sorry for that, I was wrong. That's really the math that it's behind. And why it's like this? We can check it. Probability tree. That's what I would like to show you right now. So if you change the gate, you will win a brand new car. Explanation. So how it looks like. Let's imagine that we have these 3 options. We can select the gate number 1. Let's say we select the gate number 1. Okay? And the car is in the gate number 1. So if I open, because I don't have any opportunity, so I need to open either second gate or the 3rd gate. So let's assume that I open the 3rd gate. And if you stay in your, if you don't change your mind, you will win. Yeah? That's the first situation. Let's assume the second situation. Car is in the gate number 2. So you selected the gate number 1. So what I have to do, I need to open gate number 3, because I don't have any other opportunity to show empty box. Otherwise, I will open your box, so it doesn't make sense for the program itself. So I need to open the 3rd one. It turns out that it's empty. So that's why you right now have an opportunity to choose between changing your mind or staying with the same box. So in the second way, if you change your mind, you will win, because the car is the second box. And the 3rd option, you have chosen still the gate number 1, and car is in the gate number 3. So if I ask you to change, I need to open for sure the second box. So if I ask you to change, then you change for the gate number 3, then you win. if you stays with your situation, you lose. So you have like a 3 options, and 2 of those options with changes your mind will deliver a car, brand new car to you. So that's the reason, that's how it's being explained. And this is one of the paradox and the trick that your mind is doing when selecting the box. So it's not only the knowledge about the math or the statistics, but it's also some emotions that you have. For example, when you select the box number 1, you stay with the choice because you think that, okay, I choose the one, the car should be there. But then if you have a chance and presenter gives you a really good chance to change your mind and delivers you statistically more chances of winning, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will win in that particular situation, because 2 or 3 times you will win, 1 on 3 you will lose. But statistically, you will have more chances while changing your mind. And why I'm talking about this? I'm talking about this because statistics in my life plays a significant role. And I believe that we can measure not only this kind of situation, not only the investments that, for example, I'm an investor. I'm doing investments every single day almost. And it's not only helping to achieve those goals. It's not only helping in IT, but you can also measure and improve your performance, your personal growth by using statistics and improvement. And I would like to show you right now 2 rules and 2 tools that you may actually use in your life to boost your performance, not only in the private situations, but also in the work situations. And first rule is related to 1% rule. What does it mean? There was a British cycling organization, there is actually, but they were struggling for so many years. They were struggling to have a good results of the cyclists. They never won, let's say, any Tour de France through 110 years in a row. They never won. Any British cyclist didn't win that prestige tournament. On the second side, they won only 1 medal on the Olympics throughout 100 years of performance. So they decided they need to change something. And that's why they hired the Dave Brailsford to help the organization, help the team to change something in their life, to change and to start winning. And what the guys was famous was continuous improvement in sport. And the first thing that he did with the team, he asked them to split every single aspect of the cycling to the single pieces. What I mean, they split it what cycling is combined of. It was the saddle of the bicycle, the wheels, the tires, the chain, the uniform that cyclists use, and all the pressure in the tires, all the things split it in the single pieces. So they have multi split of the cycling, and they know how this is being combined. And why they did it? Because he asked the team, and what they start to work with is to improve every single piece by 1%. So they started testing saddles. They choose the most comfortable one. They started to play with the pressure in the tires. They selected the ideal way, how much it should be. And they selected the great tires itself. They changed the uniforms to make it more aerodynamic. And they changed so many different small things. And the British cycling organization was very happy. Why? Because the team started to climb the ladder on the tournaments. And they started to win. They started to win every single time. That was the simple rule of improvement, 1% each slice of the game. And why is like this? Because if you take a look, what will happen if you improve a process by 1%, 1 single percent, but you will slice that down to, let's say, 365 pieces, and you will improve each piece by 1%, you will have enormous result. And that's the difference that you can see right now is between 1% improvement that you can do every single day or every single piece of the process, or 1% of decline. So if you are declining, you will have, so it's, let's say, 0.99 to the power of 365. It will you will achieve after 1 year, after 365 days, 0.03. But if you decide to improve each day by 1%, and what that means? It means that if you're running, for example, you may have like training for 5 kilometers. Let's do 5,005 meters or 5,050 meters at this training. Do your job 1% better at the moment, at this day. And if you do it every single day throughout the year, you will find out that you are 37 times better than at the beginning. Why is like that? Because there is a compound interest. Compounding is one of the greatest tools of the mankind. Albert Einstein once said that compound interest is the greatest invention of all time, which means that if you start compounding not only your money on the account, because compounding in terms of investments, it's also the biggest tool that you may have in terms of the money management, but compounding also your personal growth every single day by 1%, maybe not even 1%, maybe it could be 1 per mile, so 0.1% each day. You will find out that in 1 year or 10 years from now, you will become 37 times better than that you were at the beginning. And that's the difference when you decide to do it or you start declining. So that's one tool. Think every single time when you are focusing on something, how I can improve either the slice of the process by 1%. It can be in IT, some process that you may have. It might be in your personal life when you running or you doing some training on a gym. Try to improve by 1% and compound that every single day. And you will find out that in 1 year you will be in the place that you are right now. It's very easy for you. It's something that you were never even thinking that you can grow from this level as much. Of course, you may ask right now, what if I don't do it, let's say, every single day? Yeah, because you have a worse day. You don't want to do something. You feel that you can do it. You do some mistakes. And I had this kind of situation 2 years ago. I was riding a bike. I went to the city center. I just wanted to make some stuff there, and I was driving back, driving through the pavement and through the pedestrian crossing. And what I noticed, 200 meters in front of me, it was like a red and blue light somewhere, there. So I came closer to those lights. And then I was invited by the handsome guy wearing a blue uniform to the police car. Every single tries to justify myself why I was driving, why I was riding on the pavement and through the pedestrian crossing. He just sum up with the sentence, should I write a ticket or you would like to go to court? Effect? 100 zlotys less in the pocket. The beautiful day that I was riding, take a ride, was not as much beautiful at that moment. But fortunately, 2 weeks later, I was riding the same pavement, the same pedestrian crossing, and I spot a pretty blondie girl waving at me with a smile on her face. And so I came closer. So she invited me to the police car. Once again, I got 100 zlotys ticket, and day was not great. And you need to remember that and you need to understand that I was very angry at that time. I second time make a mistake. I didn't notice the police. And in our life, we do like this. We make a mistake. We are, let's say, complaining on our mistake. We ask ourselves that and promise ourselves that we are not going to ever again do this mistake, and we make this mistake once again. There is a circle of that we are doing that every single time. And one of the things that you can do, you can admit that you can make a mistake. You can make a mistake once, you can make the same mistake twice. And if you do that mistake, just don't follow this path of decline. Go on track next day. If you don't want to do the training this day, okay, it's normal. We are humans. You can do it. But the next day, do it. Go to the path of improvement. Because if you stay on the path of decline, you will notice the deterioration in your performance. But if you decide to do the improvement, then you will be back on track. And maybe not in 1 year, but you will do it in 2 years from now. But you will be on this path. And that's one of the greatest tool that you may have. So every time when you're doing something, please think how to improve. Don't go for easy solutions. Really think on how can I make it just a slight better. That's one rule. And this rule will not work without second thing. Second thing is about habits. Because you are not able to make improvement, stable improvement, if you don't deploy habits. You know the habits. You have some habits? Who have some habits? Okay, several people have. Those who didn't raise their hand, I assume they don't. Good. Why I would like to talk about the habits? First of all, you need to think where the habits should be deployed and what good habits do you have and what bad habits do you have and which one you should get rid of. And to understand this one, you need to think about the wheel of life and where those habits are located. Who has ever heard about the wheel of life? One person. Okay, that's good. Maybe that will be the nice tool for you to help you to actually measure your life, not even performance, but how you feel in your life. And the wheel of life is a wheel that contains, let's say, 7 different areas. It could be 7, it could be 8, even 10, no matter how you would like to deploy it. But it covers such areas like career. So how do you feel about your work, about your job? How do you feel about your financial situation? How do you feel about entertainment and joy in your life? How do you feel physically? So in terms of your physical performance, your health. How do you feel intellectually and personal growth? How do you rate your family connections and how do you feel about your family? And what about your social life, friends and other stuff like this? And you should rate, using this tool, you should rate every single aspect on the scale 1 to 10. So that's why there is 10 circles inside of each bucket. So you can rate each bucket from 1 to 10. And I would like you right now to take a minute and to think about how you'd like to rate your life in these aspects. That's very crucial. If you have something to write, you can even draw it. I do this exercise twice a year. Usually at the beginning of the year when I'm setting some goals for myself for a year, and also usually in the middle of the year to check how I'm performing, where I am in terms of my assessment. And this wheel of life works like this. If you select or if you rate your career very high, but on the other hand, your physical health on the lower side, it might be mean that the meaning could be like that you have a good habits in your career, but maybe you have a wrong habits in your physical health. And that's the assumption where you can look on the habits and which habits you could actually work with to get rid of some bad habits and to work on the good habits, to deploy them into the buckets of your life that you are not happy right now with. And that's the tool that allows you to find some balance, find some well-being in your life. And it's not easy. The buckets will change. I started doing that in 2015. And if I check each year, each half of the year, how I rate myself, the numbers are, varying very much. And sometimes even it's not objectively rated, because sometimes I could rate my financial well-being at the higher range, and right now maybe even financially in objective way, financially I'm doing better, but I'm rating myself lower on the scale, because that's the assumption that you have at the moment. So it may vary throughout the years for you, but the thing is that it's about how do you feel about it at the moment, at the particular moment of time. So what I encourage you to do it for yourself and to check how this will looks like. And it's not much important if you select all the areas at 5 or all areas at 10. Probably some of you may not even ever select 10 for any area. But what is very important to have this wheel balanced. Why is that important? Imagine the wheel. If you have a wheel like circle, it will help you to move faster. It will help you to move with a good performance. If you have a wheel like squared, or I don't know, with not really linear, it will be very difficult for you to move very fast in your life and to feel good in your life. So what is most important is not to rate all the aspects of your life at 10, is to have them balanced. So each aspect should be rated, maybe I don't mean at the same level, but similarly. And that's the way how you may find some balance in your life. And that's the way how you may improve your performance in every single aspect, because if you have a wheels, you will go quicker in your life. And it will help you to stay on this improvement curve of 1% improvement all the time. Because if you are struggling with some physical health, it will not help you in your career, it will not help you in the entertainment, it might not help you in the family. So having that balance is the key to some success in the life. And the question right now for you, how do you find how to deploy the habits in your life? How do you do it? Several people raise the hand that they have some habits. How do you deploy habits? You work them hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You need to force yourself at the first days, and then it goes. And the best moment
Mm-hmm.
habit is when you're seeing the effects of the habits.
Sure.
Because then you are starting to find the strength inside those habits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just going round, and day to day you are just performing them.
Sure. So very difficult start when you start deploying them, and then it's going easier, and much easier when you see the effects of that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the breakage point. When you see the effects,
Mm-hmm.
you can push and follow even harder because you know that the effects are here.
Mm-hmm. Good. Any other answer? What helps you actually to deploy habits in your life, or maybe get rid of the habits? Because sometimes we need to get rid of the bad habits also. Put a KPI on it. Any specific KPI that you put on your habits? Measure with points. Oh. Good. So as Jerzy, for example, said that the first our speaker, how to measure, for example, how many times, how many people give you some feedback about some information that you can use later on. How many people would like to see your presentation twice? That's the KPI that you can set for yourself, yes? Okay, I heard one more. Mm-hmm. Starting from a small steps will for sure help you, and there is even a rule that you may use that it's called 2-minute rule. It means that if you start a new habit and you would like to start, for example, meditation, you don't need necessarily to start with 15-minute exercise. No, start with 2 minutes and start increasing that by 1%. So first day 2 minutes, second day 2 minutes and 1 second, the third day 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And you will find out that in 1 year you will be spending more time and will be far more relaxed when you deploy this habit in your life. So small steps, use the 2 minutes rule as it helps you to deploy the good habit. Any other ideas? I'll give you an additional one. Make it easy. Make it easy. What it means, connect the habit to the proper situation in your, to the particular situation in your life. So for example, if you wake up in the morning and you put your clock just in, on the desk near to your bed, then you might be, interested to decline the clock, the alarm. But maybe the one easiest part would be to put your phone somewhere, far away from the bed. So you need to jump out of the bed in the morning to decline the alarm. Maybe that's few seconds that you will have additionally to think about changing the process. So you need to connect this habit to the situation that you have in your life, to the daily routine. If you would like to deploy some habit, for example, for, that you would like to take care of your hair each day, so maybe that will be the good habit when you connect that into the brushing your teeth each morning. If you would like to make some meditation in the morning, so maybe that would be good if you connect that with your morning coffee. So you are taking the coffee, so maybe that after I'm taking the coffee, I will do 2 minutes meditation. So you have a simple connection between one routine that you already have in your life with the additional habit that you would like to deploy. So that's helpful for sure to make a habit. Second thing is make it satisfying, which means that you need to have a dopamine boost when doing something. Why it's so important? Because dopamine helps you to feel better what you are doing. So if you connect your habit with some dopamine boost, I don't know, maybe a small reward at the end, maybe the training that will give you some dopamine itself, maybe some additional activities that you like in your life, but it could be connected to the habit that you would like to deploy. So make it satisfying for yourself. It will help you to stay with the habit all the time and stay on this learning and improvement curve each day. And the third one, make it sustainable. You said already that it's very hard at the beginning to deploy the habit, but after a few days, it's much easier. So at least 30 days is the number of days that you should follow the new habit. It's minimum, because sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes you need to spend 60 days, sometimes you need to spend 90 days to deploy the habit, but 30 days is the minimum that you should focus on to stay with the new habit. If you, let's say, make a mistake, or you fall down, you don't feel that you will do something that particular day, or you miss the meditation at that day, so maybe go on track the next day, and that's very, very important. So you don't miss twice. You can miss one day, but don't miss twice. If you start missing twice, then you start deploying the bad habit once again. How many time do we have? We are ending almost. That's all from the habits. So what we learned from today, what I would like to summarize. Our minds play tricks with us. If you don't have a proper knowledge, it can be even tricky to have a proper answer in terms of changing the gate or not changing the gate in the simple game. Let's make a deal. So really, these statistics helps you in your life. So you should start measuring that, not in the performance only in the work environment, but also having in mind your personal growth. Second thing we learn that the improvement each day does matter. Improvement not every single slice of the process does matter, because if you multiply that by every single day effort, it will play a role in 1 year, in 10 years from now, and you will feel much in the different place than you are today. And the things that you are doing today will look very easy for you. And the third thing is a will of life. So if you decide to do it, assess your, let's say, feelings about each bucket of your life. Do it every single year, at least at the beginning of the year when you assess your, for example, when you set your goals for the next year. Assess where you are. Maybe you can even would like to set the goals particularly for this bucket. How I would like to improve in this particular situation. Think about the habits, the good habits that you have in the buckets that you rate high, and how you can get rid of the bad habits that you have in the lower scored buckets in your life. So those are the tools that you may use to boost your performance in a continuous improvement way. So that's all. So I believe that we have a few minutes for questions.
Yes. Thank you, Marek. Your speech was both informative and inspiring. We have some time for question and discussion, so who would like to start? I can pass you the mic, or you can just shout it out loud. What question do you have for Marek?
How much effort do you need for planning such improvements? Because you told us that at the beginning of the year and at the middle of the year you are making the wheel of life. So I believe you are living those habits and you are living by them. Let's say. So how many time do we need for planning? What is the best time for the planning? Let's assume that I want to change something in my life by this 1% every day. When to plan to achieve the success? You know, I'm pointing to those every new year, new me, and is it the best way, or better do it slowly, think about it, and then try to plan? What is your advice to do that?
I really like the start of the year because it's like, you know, new year, new me, as you said. But to be honest with you, if you decide, do it immediately. It doesn't matter if that's new year, if that's new day. You don't even know if you will live the next year. So I believe that starting immediately is the best way that you can do. The same way, the best day for starting your investments, for example, it was like 10 years ago. But if you didn't start 10 years ago, start now. Okay, so that's the first answer. And the second question was how much time it requires to plan. Well, I don't plan it much. At the beginning of the year, or actually ending of the year, as I'm assessing the goals that I have. It's like all of you are doing in the work environment as well. You have these checkpoints, for example, we have in maps, for example, sessions where we assess the goals that we have for the year, and the year end conversation with your manager or supervisor, and then you assess how much you deal with that throughout the year. And I'm doing the same for my private life. So the same approach. I'm doing, I'm checking in my notebook what kind of goals I have, which one I achieved, which I didn't, what was wrong, what was good at this during the year, and then I'm planning in advance for the next year, having in mind what I rate my private life, how I rate my life in the wheel of life. So, for example, if I'm doing well in the career, I will probably try to find some additional goals in the areas or in the zones that I'm not doing so well. So this is the way I'm trying to perform. So always finding the weakest spots in this wheel of life and then trying to improve them, because I know that really having it balanced will help me to achieve the new goals.
So, if summing up what you said, it's better to start now, then assess after some time, and adjust with the new goals after this assessment, right?
Exactly, exactly. So don't wait for the new year. It's 2 months already from now, but don't wait. Do it immediately. And really select the goals as you select the goals for the work environment. Do it also for the personal life. It will help you to stay on track and will help you to stay on this improvement curve in your life. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Okay, so maybe what do you think, what is the main reason for having a failure in making an improvement? Yeah?
What's the main reason in?
All those tools, yeah?
Mhm.
If it would be so easy, just you told us that here are the tools, make a new habit or make an improvement. Why we are failing?
Why we are failing to have this improvement in our life? Well, I believe that's there only one reason for that. It's lack of discipline. Really, it's lack of discipline. It's not the motivation that we have. Motivation is overrated. It's a discipline that we need to stick to that. Sometimes you don't want to do something in your life. Maybe in the morning I was not even wanted to have this kind of presentation for you, but you discipline yourself to do it.
So how to improve your discipline?
How to improve the discipline?
Yeah. Because people are, yeah, and not only all are disciplined.
That is a good question. That's a good question that probably I don't have an answer right now. I don't know. Maybe you have some answers for this one. Call your mom.
No, but the 1% you told us is the best way to build up discipline. So at the beginning, there is a motivation at the beginning. You need to face a wall and
Could you?
grow. Okay, trying to answer. So at the beginning there isn't discipline, right? You feel you need to change something and you need to go through this wall and then build up 1% this discipline that you told us. And then I know it from my life and it's not an easy PC, but it's possible to do this. Really. Start with the motivation, find something that I'm talking about building good habit above the bad habits, so changing the bad habits to good habits. And and the most easy thing is to start with something that keeps you at the bottom and then build up motivation above it and then build discipline above this motivation, because there will be stop of motivation at one day and you will lose all the motivation, but then that discipline will save you.
So it's not easy to build a discipline in your life, but asking yourself every single time when you are performing some task, how I can do it a little bit better, or if I'm on this improvement curve or this decline curve, will help is where I would like to do. So, for example, I'm running 5,000 meters, and do I want to stop at 4,095, or I would like to add on top of that this 50 meters more, and I will be improvement on the improvement curve. So that's helping, asking this question every single time, where I am and if I'm improving or if I'm declining from now. I would use it.
Thank you, Marek. I'm afraid we
Yeah.
reached our time.
Thank you very much.
Big round of applause for our guest. Thank you very much.